Hey, what's good? It's your girl, L to the D to the L to the D to the L to the D to the Vanessa. Let me tell you how to spell my name. This is how I have to spell my name when I'm talking to clients. L-A-D is in David, E is in Edward, S-S-A. Ladessa. How you doing? How was your day today? Mine was well. It was good. I had a great day. It was beautiful and sunny and not too hot here in the shop. If you would be so kind, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then we can get to know each other better in the comment section. And I'm giving you permission. You have my permission, and no slip needs to be signed for you to tell the world about me and you. Let it out. Sing it from the mountaintops. Be ye not ashamed that me and you got this thing going on. Okay? Okay. So what am I here to talk about? Pose, 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 pose. The category is season 2, boo. Yes, Pose has a season 2 and I cannot wait. I know that I missed 2 episodes before the season finale. Love is the Message and Pink Slip. I was kind of up and down about reviewing it, and then I got lazy, but I had to talk about this season finale, and I had to say I'm so happy that Pose got a season 2. Lightning round a little bit. Love is the Message. Pray Tell's lover died. He gave his lover passing away. He gave him permission to love, to grieve about the loss of my life, but you live, because I know that you have this disease too, and you do not let it hold you back. You get out there and love again and live. Blanka is getting pursued by this guy. He's kind of pushing up on her. He's like super duper fine, kind of giving us LL Cool J vibes with the TI tracksuits. You really got to be old school to know about the TI tracksuits and the Kangos and all of that. And it turns out that he is just a boy. So that didn't pan out for Blanka, unfortunately. In the sadness that Pray Tell was experiencing because his lover was drawing close to death. At all of the balls, he kept playing this song, Love is the Message, and everybody is like, all right now, Pray Tell, enough with the song. And he had been drinking a lot and just kind of really out of character for his, over the top, always happy, flamboyant self. So Blanka and the rest of the people from the house, they're going to try to pull together and pull an intervention to get Pray Tell out of this funk. That backfires. Pray Tell cusses everybody out, and it goes left. Electra went and got her sex change, and she's feeling like a whole woman, and she did it even though Detective Stabler said, now if you cut that thing off, I'm gonna have to cut you off. But she's thinking that this thing that they got going on is something like what me and you got going on, like it's real. It can withstand, me missing a couple episodes of reviewing Pose. But, little does she know, it ain't that. It ain't what she thought it was. Love is the Message. Oh, okay. Pray Tell is tired of always having to come to the medical center or the hospital where his lover is, and it's so dreary and drab. And he has a conversation with the head nurse, who is Sandra Bernhardt. Hey, girl. And she's like, look, we ain't got no money, and I'm trying my best to keep these people alive on this shoestring budget. You the entertainer. You bring some entertainment down to this place. So Pray Tell says, you know what? You're right. So he puts together a little cabaret. He sings this beautiful Donny Hathaway song for his lover. And I love the cinematography of that scene, because throughout the scenes where his lover was showcased, he was really gray and ailing and really sickly. But in that moment when Pray Tell was singing that song to him, there was a little light that kind of shone on him, and there was like life and love coming through his face. It was just superb. So he had invited Blanca to come to the cabaret and sing, but she was like, no, I have a date. And then she finds out the dude is a boy. So she shows up to the cabaret and she sings Home by Stephanie Mills. Let me tell you, I was crying. It was so powerful. And at the end of the episode, Pray Tell's lover dies. Um, and you know, he kind of gets out of the funk and tells Blanca that, hey, he told me to live my life in love, and that was kind of like his last lover's will and testament for me, and that's what I'm going to do. There was some issues going on in that episode with Stan and Angel. I'll pick that up now in episode 6, Pink Slip. Okay, in episode 5, Angel and Stan are finally like together. They get to be together because now the wife knows. She confronts Angel. Angel's like, yeah, we're in love. And, you know, his wife can't believe that she's a transsexual and a transsexual prostitute. She tries to take Stan to counseling, and that doesn't work. Stan gets into it with his boss. They have a fight. She puts him out. He goes to live with Angel, but Angel takes him down to the ballroom. There's like, you know, too much going on, too much posing and flashing and all that stuff going on. He can't do it. So him and Angel break up. Angel goes back to Blanca's house. All right. So Detective Stabler comes back to town, finds out that Elektra doesn't have her member. He cuts her off. She thinks they're in love. They're not. He wanted her with the thing. He has now replaced her with a newer, younger model that's got the thing. Elektra has been brought down a peg because she has got evicted. The people that were living at her house, they moved on, started their own house. Poppy is selling drugs. Blanca finds out. She puts him out, trying to, you know, show him tough love. And it's a really tough because Blanca really has love for Poppy, but there's some things that she's not going to take. Stan and Angel are broke up. Angel is like in a funk. She doesn't know what to do because he left her and she thought that they were really in love. And so once he left her after the whole ballroom thing, she couldn't take it. She takes herself back down to the pier, down to the stroll. And then Elektra Abundance has to take herself down to the peep show, you know, because now she ain't got no money and everything is a bust. Okay, here we go. Last episode of the season, episode 7, Mother of the Year. Mother of the Year is about Blanca finally getting her just due and building a legendary house. So I really appreciate there's a chemistry and a friendship that has been sprouted between Blanca and Damon's dance teacher, and I really appreciate that camaraderie. So Blanca has kind of leaned on Damon's teacher, you know, for advice and things like that, like what should she do and, you know, that kind of thing. So I appreciated that. The teacher calls Blanca in, and Blanca's like, what did Damon do now? And she tells her he's like really performing well, everything is going good, and so much so that he has a scholarship for next year and he's got a full ride. But Blanca doesn't know that Ricky and Damon are down auditioning for a I'll Be Sure video. And Damon makes the cut, Ricky makes the cut, and some other people make the cut. So they're in position now to go on tour with I'll Be Sure. Elektra is kicked out. She's evicted. She don't have nowhere to go. But she's always got Blanca. Because remember, I think it was in episode 4, Blanca tells Elektra, you may be a horrible mother, but that's not going to stop me from being the wonderful daughter and loving daughter that I want to be. So where once pride comes before the fall and Electra has fallen, where does she have to go? She has to go back to Blanka. So she's living in Blanka's house now, and she's still kind of riding her high horse, but she understands where her bread is buttered, and that's at Blanka's house. So Blanka's encouraging her, look, now I know that you've fallen on hard times, but you're better than, you know, shaking your shimmy down to the peep show. You need to go in here and get a job. So she takes her to, you know, like a tavern on the greens type situation, really upscale restaurant. Electra's like, what you want me to do? Like, you know, bus tables or take orders? And Blanka's like, no, they're hiring for a hostess. You'd be perfect for this job. And Blanka goes and asks for an application. She gets it, you know, because she fits the bill of the type of hostess that they would want at this restaurant. Electra's first day on the job, Pray Tell comes in with a little date, a little young tender, a little something, something. And Pray Tell was kind of like, oh, okay, this what we doing now? Hold on, my soft box was over there. I needed a little light. All right. But he's like, okay, I see you. I see you. Pray Tell is on his date. He's feeling really nervous, you know, because he's slowly trying to get himself out of the funk from grieving from his lover, you know, and then he's carrying the weight of, you know, having HIV. And so he just flat out tells the guy that, look, I'm positive and you can go ahead on and go, and, you know, I'll take care of the bill. And the guy is like, no, you're not the first person I dated that has this, you know, has this ailment. And, you know, if it comes to that, we'll just be protective. We'll protect ourselves. And what I really, really like, I've shared with you all this before, what I love about this show is it would have been like real easy and lazy for them to showcase all of the negativity and cruelty and hatred and lack of understanding that comes with the LGBTQ plus, because there's some other letters now. I want to make sure that I say this correctly, that comes with that community. And they touch on it, you know, there are some moments where they touch on it, but more than anything, it's about the safety and the acceptance and the love that this community had to gather amongst themselves in order to feel like they were accepted. And so I love that about this show. I'm more than sure now that there's a season 2, they'll explore that. But they did a really good job in just showcasing love and acceptance, and I love the show for that. So Angel is still, you know, she's still heartbroken that her and Stan have broke up because he couldn't accept her lifestyle and what comes with it. So Stan has been put out, but he goes back home and he says to his wife that he understands that their marriage is over, but it'd be a good idea for him to come back home just, you know, for the sake of imagery for the kids. And his wife is initially apprehensive, but she's like, okay, that's fine. But if you're coming back here, you have to leave that whole Manhattan lifestyle behind. Go get a job, sell insurance, go sell cars right here in New Jersey, and leave all that fancy mess. And furthermore, if you're coming back here to live for the sake of the kids, I'm going back to school, and I've given too much of myself. Like many women, they get into these relationships and they lose so much of themselves. I'm going to get me back. I'm going to get an education, and by the time I'm done with school, the kids will be old enough to understand what's going on. I'm going to spare you, and because I love you, I'm going to spare you not telling everybody that you had an affair with, you know, a transsexual prostitute. But people are going to know that you had an affair on me. And he's like, it seems like he's like, okay, that's cool. Blanka, who is just the best, is trying to console Angel because her heart is broken because Stan left her. And she's like, look, I need you to pull this together because you're next in line to run this house. And Blanka comes clean and lets Angel know that she has HIV. So, you know, get the tears out, but we are your family. We got you. Pull this together because I need you to keep these boys in line. So I shared with you that Ricky and Damon were accepted, you know, they were chosen, excuse me, for the I'll Be Sure video. And not only that, they are gonna go on tour. So they tell everybody the good news and over dinner. And they're all excited, and Electra's like, oh my God, I'll Be Sure, I love I'll Be Sure, I have his tape in my purse. And everybody's so happy for them, especially for like Ricky, who has like really pulled himself up out of the dirt and found love and acceptance in Blanka's house. And now he can connect with his boo Damon on the whole dancing thing. And Blanka's kind of like, well, dang, I had good news too. So after dinner, Damon and Blanka are washing dishes in the kitchen, and she says, well, I had good news, and nobody, everybody was so happy about I'll Be Sure, nobody asked me my good news. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, mother, what's the good news? And she shares with him about his scholarship. And she says, whatever you choose to do, I'm gonna support you, but just give it some thought. You have some real talent here. And initially he kind of rejects it because he's like, well, what do you think? You think I can't make it on the big stage? Like, dancing for somebody and going on tour for somebody like I'll Be Sure. And she's like, I'm not saying that. I just want you to think long and hard about what you really want to do with your career. Because that's right now situation. That's right now money. You got long game money with this here dancing thing. So think about it. So she sends, they go on about their way. So Poppy, when he got put out, because he was selling drugs, Blanka did, after she felt like he had learned his lesson, she did offer to let him come back home, but he went to go live with Candy and the other Puerto Rican lady that was in Electra's house, and they started their own house. But they tried to talk a lot of crap about Electra, but they had taken on her nasty disposition and that whole they think they're better than everybody attitude, and they were treating Poppy like crap, like a little errand boy, like a little slave, like, go get my water, go, you stupid, just real disrespectful. So it's the night of the Mother of the Year, House of the Year ball. Everybody, there's all these different categories and, posing and realness and, all of that going on. So Candy and the other girl, I don't even care enough to know her name, they have the House of Veracity. They come in and they start really going in on Blanka, telling her that she needs to learn how to do her makeup. Her stubble is showing through her makeup, how her fashions is tired and all of this other kind of stuff. Telling her how she really looks like a man and all of that. And Blanka she doesn't even give in to the fight. She just goes on about her way. But Poppy speaks up for her and is like, hold on now. You don't have to be talking about people's looks up in here. And they tell Poppy basically, shut the fuck up and go get me something to drink. And he he kind of cowers under and goes to get the drink. But their attitudes are just nasty. Blanka's in the back and she's like changing her clothes or whatever, but she's kind of like in her feelings because that's the same thing that she had to deal with when she first came into the ballroom scene, not really being feminine enough to pass as a woman, and how people were ribbing on her and everything. So Electra comes and like consoles her and is like, you got this, don't worry about it, and let me go read these bitches. So Electra goes out there, and the actress that plays Electra, her acting is just like, it's hard to watch. It is hard to watch, but nonetheless, It's tough. Anyway, she goes out and reads Candy and a little Spanish mommy for Phil, talking about their looks, talking about their fashions, talking about how Candy put cement in her body trying to get some curves, and just like reads them and let them know that the house of Evangelista, which is Blanca's house, is going to be the house that everybody wants to be at. It's going to be a legendary house, and why their house is going to crumble to the ground. And she tells Poppy, basically, it's time for you to come back home. And then there's two little other guys that were at Electra's house, and she tells them, you got one chance to get with the winning team, or you can stay here with this rubbish. And they're like, bye. And after she tells the other two chicks off, they leave and go join Blanca's house. So there's, the different categories all night, and the house of Evangelista is cleaning up, okay? Cleaning up. And so the second to the last category is for the voguing. And Candy's like, we're not going to leave here without taking home the grand prize. And so she gets her little self out there trying to dance, and she cannot dance. She can't vogue. And Pray Tell just tears her head off and just talks about how she wouldn't got a body because she didn't have a body. But what she didn't go do is get dance lessons, because she danced about how I can dance. Like, I'm like, I win in the dance contest if it's in the chair, but if I have to get on these two legs, yeah, you can cancel Christmas. She is not being invited back to Dancing with the Stars. So everybody clowns her, and Pray Tell sends her on her way. And then the last scene, second to the last scene, is Mother of the Year. And all of the other mothers from throughout the city come through, and Pray Tell gives like just a resounding, well-deserving speech. And he says that the Mother of the Year has just been, a place of refuge. She's been loving. She's been non-judgmental. She's not critical. And she just does what she needs to do to bring the children of her house together and bring love to the community. And he announces that the Mother of the Year is my friend, my girl, my sister, Blanka. And I'm just like, yes, Blanka, yes. And then the very last scene is Angel's outside having a smoke, and then here comes Stan. I'm like, I thought you was moving back home for your kids to showcase them a better life. So he comes up to Angel and tells her, I love you, and I thought that, I couldn't handle your life, but I can, and I can take you away from all of this. I can give you the white picket fence and, that home in Jersey, that you said you wanted. I can give you that dream. And Angel's like, well, what about your kids? He was like, well, we'll figure it out. They can come over on the weekend. You like kids, don't you? And Angel's like, I mean, not really. And I was like, damn, Angel. And she's like, look, that was my dream, but that's not my dream anymore. This is my family, and my family needs me. And you go back home. Go home, Roger. Go back home to your family and to your kids, Stan, because I got this. And just walks off, and she shows strength, and I'm like, my girl. Because furthermore, don't nobody have time for you, Stan, and the playing games, and I want you, but then I don't. I can't handle it, but then I can. Don't nobody got time for that. I got a real family over here, people that need me, that's not going to judge me and not going to be going in and out of my life. You can't keep coming in and out of my life, Stan. So that was it. That was the season finale. Mother of the Year, Blanka, well deserving, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for season 2, because I'm sure they're going to have to explore, Blanka getting sick, the kids finding out that she's sick, Electra rising, to back to her throne, Pray Tell getting sick, finding love again, what's going to go on with Damon and Ricky. Is Damon going to be on tour, you know, cheating on Damon? Is Poppy going to get it together and go to school? You know, what's going to happen? Is Angel really done with Stan? All of that. All right, so that was Pose. The category is, this is the end of the review. I love you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I gave you permission. I'm giving you permission. Your permission slip is signed. You can tell everybody about you and me. It's not a secret. We out here in this thing. We are bae goals. We are relationship goals. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about Pose. And what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? What are you expecting for next season? Always remember to pack light, because a bag lady, bag man, me too, gonna hurt your back dragging all them bags like that. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.